Good blessed Monday night, December the 18th, 2023. It's about 11:20 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessing of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter whether you're the toughest to the weakest person on the face of this earth. Doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. Doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say or do. That's your prerogative. You have a First and a 14th Amendment right to the United States Constitution to do as you please. Speak, freedom of speech, freedom to gather, freedom to associate, as long as it's in a peaceful manner. I'm going to be brief tonight. I know there's a lot of people that don't like me, white and black. I know there's a lot of law enforcement officials in certain parts of the boot heel that don't like me. And that's their prerogative. I just want to show y'all how God worked tonight with having many of rams in the bush for me tonight. I was on my way to Sykes and going via the back way of to Sykes and going through Bertrand. And anybody know when you go the back way through Bertrand, Missouri, which is about 5 or maybe 6 miles away from here, you go, when you make this one turn, soon when you get into the one part of Bertrand, it's the police officer, the only police officer. He got about 3-4 different cars. One of them looked like a state police car. Tonight about 9 o'clock, about 2 hours ago, 9 o'clock p.m., I made that turn and I heard a pop. And I kind of figured what it was because I had that problem before and I thought I had fixed it. It was one of my spark plugs came out in my Crown Vic. And it's a boot that hold it in. So I put my emergency flashes on soon when I passed his house. I didn't see him nowhere in sight. But all of a sudden, when I put my flashes on, I passed his house a little bit, the police officer's house, which you know everybody know his house there because he got 3-4 different police cars in his yard. But as I passed his house, it's dark down there. So I said I'm not gonna stop in front of nobody's house, so nobody won't say that I'm trying to burglarize nothing. You know what I mean? It got some blacks living there, but I just didn't want to stop by. But I knew that there was a car wash that was lit up down there. And that's why I was trying to make it to. But it wasn't a good 60 seconds after I passed his house. All of a sudden, I see some flashing lights, police lights. So I stopped. And I got out, walking towards him. He had a spotlight and all that on. And he said, don't come over here by me. Don't come over here, going back by your car. Now, I wasn't being stopped. I don't think, because if I was, he would have told me what he was citing me for. All I had was my emergency vehicle, blinkers on. So I told him, I said, there's something wrong with my car. I think I might know what's wrong with it. And I said, I'm just trying to get down. I said the service station, but there's no service station there. And then he said, we don't have no service station. I said, that's what I meant. I meant the car wash where it was lit up at. And he said, well, I'll follow you down there. Now, remember, I'm having car trouble by myself, a senior. So he know I don't live in there. And he know who I am. Most of his friends here in Charleston, Missouri, the sheriff and the chief of police is his friends, and I know they watch my YouTube. And once he ran my plate, he knew who I was. And when I got to the car wash, I took my blinkers off, turned my emergency flashes off, and put on my left blinker because I was turning into the car wash. Before I can get all the way in the car wash, y'all know what he did? This ain't something that a normal a police that's trying to help somebody do. He just took on off. He didn't ask, was I'm all right? Do I need any help? But that didn't surprise me. You see, what he thought I was going to do probably was going to leave my car there so they can tow it. But a cousin of mine that was passing through seen this and turned around and he said it looked like I was in need for something. That was one ram in the bush. Stayed there with the whole time. Then my elder neighbor gave my daughter a card and had her to come over there to check up on me. I called my insurance. They couldn't find nobody in the area. So I found some place where I can put my car that wouldn't get towed until the morning. But a long story short, all you police that don't like my YouTube videos, that's your prerogative. But when you do people the way you did me tonight and waited for some of them to do me, it's going to come back on y'all and your family. It's going to come back on y'all one time. You see what I'm saying? Because any police or law enforcement official see a person stranded, it ain't got to be a citizen see something wrong. The least they would do is say, well, you need us to call a tow truck, or just like the state man did when I was broke down by Morehouse. He was a sergeant, white guy. And I don't look at color. Even though we got a lot of racism here and then, we got a lot of blacks that's law enforcement that's worse than racist whites. But the bottom line is, I made it back safe. And see, I know one of his buddies that lived there that got David Robertson natural life in prison, and a Supreme Court justice said that this man shouldn't be trusted. John Blakely. He worked for the sheriff department here in Mississippi County. So, and I think he lived there in Bertrand, but it don't make no difference. You see what I'm saying? I know I didn't break no law because mechanical failure. And even though I was having mechanical failure, I still took my emergency blinkers off and turned my left signal on so you wouldn't say that I turned into an establishment without using the proper lights. But I'm back home safe, even though I know you don't care if I'm back home safe. But I'm not mad at you because, y'all show here in Southeast Missouri what y'all about. You see what I'm saying? Clan help clan, sell out blacks help sell out blacks. But good black people and good white people help people like me. Take that to the bank. Peace be still.